Hi, my name is Hannah, and today we will interview Kishi. Kishi is a senior vice president for derivative trading application for a large financial institution, and he based in Singapore. Today he shared with us what he sees as the three key things that expats seeking international assignment need to consider. Kishi also shared three things that he sees changing in the post-pandemic world.
This podcast channel is about you, successful international entrepreneurs, successful expats, successful investors. Sponsored by HCJ.tax.
Officially, my name is Kishi Teixeira, and I'm currently based in Singapore, originally based in Canada, and originally from Africa in Zaire. And for the last 25 years, I've been working with financial institutions around the world. From a business perspective, working with financial institutions to help them drive projects on their derivative trading platforms. So I work with various trading groups, including FX cash, FX options, equity cash, equity options, interest rate derivatives, money market, and front to back. You know, our business team, as much as we drive the initiatives from the front office, we also work with the tech teams, risk management, finance, operations to make sure from end to end that the requirements are met. And I've had a chance to work at various locations, including London, Chicago, New York, Sydney, Melbourne, and New Zealand. I've supported groups and actually had a chance to visit branches in Vietnam, Korea, Mumbai, Indonesia, Shanghai. So I've been blessed in that sense, and that work has actually allowed me to travel the world at the same time as gain valuable experiences.
Right. So you've had a journey around the world.
Yes.
So my question is, what advice or what words of guidance would you have for someone who is right now in Toronto or in the US and maybe thinking, you know what, I would like to have an international career as well. I'd like to work in all the major capitals all over the world. How do I do that?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest mindsets that one has to have is being able to take risk. When I got my first role overseas, Toronto was home. So my first assignment was in Australia, which is literally on the other side of the world, similar to Singapore. And my situation was a little bit more delicate in that I have family, young kids, but I had the support of my wife to be able to pursue a better life for myself and the family. So getting support, if you are in a relationship, is very important. But the point that I was making is also, if it's the case that you're fortunate enough to be single with no ties, being able to take that risk, being able to move into an environment that's outside of your comfort zone, being able to be flexible in terms of learning about other cultures, not imposing your cultures on theirs, but learning about theirs, and being patient for them to learn about yourself as well. And I think for the most part, as you do, if you do get the opportunity to go abroad, the one thing that is important is being able to deliver quality work. As people will have a specific either prejudices or mindset in terms of the individual based off of where they're coming from. But once they can see that you're able to deliver quality work, you're able to present yourself appropriately, then they'll see you in the right light, and in the light that you'd want them to see you.
Okay. So support of your family, the ability to take calculated risks, and once you get the opportunity, the ability to really deliver. So those three things. Now we're in the midst of a global situation, as we were discussing at the beginning. How do you think that's going to impact work in the future once we get over this hurdle? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think a lot of companies are looking at their business continuity plans as to whether or not they were originally sufficient. Of course, in light of 9/11, a lot of companies started working on disaster recovery sites, being able to split the working locations of their staff, but it was never actually implemented. You know, companies would always go through the motions of making sure that they do have a BCP site. The case that whether or not individuals are going to be able to work effectively remotely. But I believe in light of what we're going through, there's going to be a greater focus on that. I think especially the consulting companies, be it Ernst & Young, Price Waterhouse, those companies will probably excel in terms of getting companies to be able to ensure that their business continuity plans or programs are adequate and can actually support a significant number of users being able to work effectively from home.
Okay. All right. So business continuity planning. Anything else do you see changing?
The other thing that I would see is, as well as the need for infrastructure. There, I would suspect that there's going to be certain companies that specialize in the software. You know, if we're looking at Zoom communications, we're looking at Skype, we're looking at Microsoft Teams. Those have become more and more critical in terms of being able to support virtual meetings. I think there's, you know, given the fact that everyone's moving towards 5G, that's going to help significantly in terms of ensuring that the bandwidth is there to be able to support all the remote communications that needs to be done. One of the key things that our company is looking at relates to privacy and being able to access data off-site. So they've limited individuals that can access production environments. But the problem is there's a number of users across our company that are working on projects, and they have to access UAT environments. And our company tends to be a bit more conservative. So they, in a sense, they've blocked access to the UAT environments remotely. And that creates significant barriers for the project team members to be able to effectively validate the various requirements prior to eventually rolling out the application. So I think companies are going to need to reassess how they allow their team members to be able to access non-production data remotely.
Okay, so we're talking about privacy and data security. We're talking about IT platforms that allow collaboration amongst teams that are in different locations, like Microsoft Team, and we use Slack. And what was the third thing you said is going to change, which you actually said at the beginning?
I was talking about on the hardware side and the infrastructure side. To make sure that companies are properly scaled in terms of the ensuring bandwidth to be able to support the large number of individuals that may have to work from home. You know, looking at India as an example, where you've got, you know, 1 billion plus people that are on lockdown, and if you don't have the infrastructure to support the number of people that will require internet access, you're just setting yourself up to fail.
Right. Okay. So it's a hardware issue as well as a software issue.
Yes. You know, hardware, software, and privacy.
And privacy. Okay. That's great. Okay. Well, that's it really. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Always great chatting with you.
Sure.
Looking forward to when you're going to be back in Singapore.
Yeah, we'll definitely catch up.
Yes.
What social distancing allow, you know. We wave at a distance.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right,
Have a good one.
No worries. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.